folks.
Can you explain why the president interacted with so many of his son's foreign business associates? More than half of voters told CNN they believe the president was involved and he lied. You can't have a response to that, Karine?
As the distinguished chairman said, there's no requirement that we have a vote. And so at this time, we will not be having a vote. And I'm very pleased with the thoughtfulness of our caucus in terms of being supportive of the path that we are on in terms of fairness, in terms of seeking the truth.
Many months later.
He didn't even put up for a vote, as you all know, because he knows that even his own members weren't going to support this.
Karine, can you describe how President Biden reacted to the impeachment?
Joe Biden didn't have a reaction because he's in la la land. He's suffering from dementia. Oh, impeachment? Where's the peaches at? Did you say peaches? Ooh, I love peaches. Karine Jean Pierre, she's holding the press conference. Of course, it's the White House briefing. And several reporters were trying to get more information about the impeachment inquiry, whether or not Joe Biden will comply.
I'm going to refer you to my colleagues over at the counsel's office on any specifics to the inquiry. Certainly not going to speculate on what has been a baseless inquiry that the House Republicans can't even really defend themselves, and that many House Republicans have said they couldn't support their own votes. So again, I'm going to refer you to my White House counsel on any specifics.
On impeachment, you just mentioned House Republicans' baseless claims. How confident are you that there will be no evidence that incriminates President Biden and Hunter's business dealings as this goes forward? So
let me just give a little bit of a lay down here, because I think it's important. Any specifics to the inquiry, certainly I want to say this at the top, as I said to Darlene, I'm going to refer you to my colleagues at the counsel's office, but I also want to be clear about a couple of things. You know, I just talked about BideNomics. I just talked about what the president's going to do tomorrow, really deliver a major speech, something that the American people want to hear about. What are we doing to improve their lives, work on the economy? And these are real issues, real priorities for Americans. And like I said, like lowering costs. But what you see Republicans in Congress, right, they have spent all year investigating the president. That's what they've spent all year doing. And have turned up with no evidence, none, that he did anything wrong. I mean, that is what we've heard over and over again from their almost year-long investigation. And that's...
You know how you tell a lie over and over again, you believe it to be true yourself? That's basically what they're doing. They're trying to program people's mind. The Republican Party spent a year long investigating President Biden, but they have turned up with no evidence. You're going to hear that repeated or regurgitated over and over again. But they have evidence, a lot of it.
That's because the president didn't do anything wrong. Even House Republicans have said the evidence does not exist. House Republicans have said that. To my friend in the back who just yelled at, which is incredibly inappropriate, but House Republicans have said that it doesn't exist. Their own investigation have actually debunked their ridiculous attacks. And the only reason Speaker McCarthy is doing this political stunt, and we have seen it, you all have reported, is because Majority Taylor Greene has said she threatened to shut down the government. Can you imagine shutting down the government over a political stunt? And we're talking about vital programs that American families need. And she said that because she wanted him to actually do this. And if he didn't, she would shut down the government. And you have Matt Gaetz as well, threatened to oust him as Speaker if he didn't do it. So he didn't even put up for a vote, as you all know, because he knows that even his own members weren't going to support this. So, that's why we call it baseless. That's why I just called it baseless, because they have said themselves that there is no evidence. The evidence does not exist, and this is a political stunt. But here's the thing, and I say this all the time, we look forward to working with Republicans in a bipartisan way to actually deal with issues that matter to Americans, real issues that matter to Americans, not this baseless effort that they have continuing to do that shows no evidence.
You just brought up the lack of a vote. Does the White House view this impeachment inquiry as legitimate, given that there has not been a vote to open it?
So, Nancy, I appreciate the question, but I actually, from what I just laid out, Republicans haven't made it pretty clear just how illegitimate this is. They've made that very clear. This is an entire exercise of how to do this in an illegitimate way.
That's not an illegitimate way. Actually, you just need a few people to say launch a impeachment inquiry on whoever the president is. You don't need to take a vote. It's basically the Judiciary Committee that will say yay or nay we're going to launch an impeachment inquiry into Joe Biden. And I wish people would stop getting it confused. Impeachment inquiry is just the inquiry. That's when they have hearings and they question about the evidence that they found and maybe uncover more evidence, but it's not the actual vote of the impeachment. Now, after all the hearings and all the dust settled, they could say, okay, we got a substantial amount of evidence to persuade the non-persuaders that Joe Biden should be impeached. And that's when they'll send it to the House of Representatives. Now, do they have enough votes? Can they persuade Democrats to vote Biden out? No, I don't think so. And I don't think they got enough votes in the Senate. So she's saying all this to say, okay, it would probably never happen. And if it does happen, you guys, I'll eat my words. This is September the 13th. It's approximately 8:45 p.m. I will eat my words, but I doubt if an actual impeachment will incur. Okay. Joe Biden, they probably will not let him run, though. I think it's just a nail in the coffin for Joe Biden's reelection. He didn't even have a chance of reelection, but this is just a nail in the coffin. The party doesn't like him. They're basically trying to separate themselves from him. And of course, she has to do her job. I don't like, what's her name? Karine Jean Pierre just as much as you like her, but she is doing her job. She has to answer these questions so she won't lose her job. So she may not even agree with it, but she has to answer it in such a way to make the president look good and for her to keep her job.
Again, it's a political stunt, and it is going after the president politically.
It's not I don't think it's a political stunt. I think they have valid claims, though. I don't think it's a political stunt. It might be a little bit political because tit for tat, but I think they have valid claims. I mean, your son had business dealings in Ukraine, in these other countries, China, and he don't even have any foreign relation experience. He's not a diplomat. All the business dealings that he was dabbling in, he didn't have any experience in that. He just came with the calling card of Joe Biden. My daddy is the vice president, and I'm going to use my daddy for financial gain. That's basically what happened. And I believe that to be true.
Suggested that there's no evidence to back up the Republicans'
Which is
effort
true.
here.
I'm not suggesting it. That's actually a fact.
If they are seeking information,
Again, that is something that the White House counsel is going to deal with, and it's not a suggestion. It's actually an actual fact. When you have Republicans saying that there is no evidence, it doesn't exist. They have said that. I mean, again, they couldn't even put it up for a vote because they didn't have the vote. So it's not a suggestion. It's actually the fact. That's their own words that I'm repeating back. I'm just going to try and go ahead.
Thanks, Karine.
You know that's not true. They probably have said that in the past when they was first looking up, but they held a press conference maybe about 4 weeks ago, laying out all the evidence. And you could say, oh, they have said this. Yeah, they probably said it prior to them getting all this evidence, but literally they held a press conference laying out all the evidence. So I don't know where she's getting that from.
Karine, can you describe how President Biden reacted to the impeachment decision by the...
I don't have anything to share about the president's reaction to this.
Joe Biden didn't react because he don't understand what's going on. Hey, Sleepy Joe. He don't even understand. He don't know what day it is. He don't even know where he's at. So what are we saying? Why would you even ask that question? Shame on you, reporter. Joe Biden didn't have a reaction because he's in la la land. He's suffering from dementia. So no, he's probably like, oh, impeachment? Where's the peaches at? Did you say peaches? Ooh, I love peaches. Come on now. You think Joe Biden had a reaction? He don't know what's going on. He don't know what's up from down, if the sky is blue or gray or purple. He don't know where the stairs are at. Was that Jim McQueen? Jim McQueen, let me pull up his chat. His first tweet, Biden reminds me of an old man and his greatest adversary is stairs. I mean, come on now. Joe Biden don't know what's going on. So he didn't have a reaction.
All I can tell you is the president's focus on the American people, hardworking American people. You'll see him in a few minutes when he talks about, when he speaks to his cancer cabinet, and then you'll certainly hear from him tomorrow with the BideNomics.